Hi, my name is Liz. I'm going to be your PT today. So first we're going to do a quick neuro screening. Do you have any symptoms right now?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So the first thing we'll do is your dermatomes, which tests your light touch. So if you could go ahead and close your eyes, I'll provide a light touch somewhere on your upper body and just tell me where I touch you.
The top of my head.
Okay, C1,
The back of my head.
C2,
Back of my neck.
C3,
The back of my neck.
C4,
The sides of my arms.
C5. And was there any difference in pressure there?
No.
Okay. And then I'm going to have you turn your arms out this way, the next couple, and then here's this touch.
The sides of my arms.
Okay,
Lower.
C6,
The inside of my hands.
C7,
The middle side of my hands.
okay, C8.
The inside of my arms.
Okay, that was T1.
The inside of the upper part of my arms.
Okay, that was T2. And you can go ahead and open your eyes. Do you have any symptoms, any change in symptoms?
No.
Okay, so now we'll go ahead and do light touch testing for your lower body. So if you can close your eyes and tell me where I touch you and if there's any difference in pressure. So L1,
The top part of my thighs.
L2,
The middle of my thigh.
L3,
Right above my knee.
L4,
In the middle side of my legs.
L5,
The top of my feet.
S1,
The outside of my feet.
and S2.
The back of my legs.
Okay, you can open your eyes. Do you have any change in symptoms, better, worse, or the same?
Nope.
Okay, cool. And a positive test, we would be looking for any diminished sensation, or if she couldn't feel the touch, or if there was a difference in pressure between the two sides. So now I'm going to assess your posture. So before we start, do you have any symptoms?
No.
Okay, so if you can just stand there normally, and I'll explain kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm making sure that your head is symmetrical and straight, you're not tilted to one side. Making sure you have the same muscle mass on your shoulders, which looks good. Making sure that your shoulders are even, which they look even. I'm also making sure that they're not rounded forward and coming in like this. And I can look for rib abnormalities, but I don't see any right now. And then looking lower, I can make sure your hips are even, so if you can move your arms out to the side a little bit. Fine. And we got crest, and that looks even. And then for your trochanter, and that looks even. And then working down, I can look at your knees, which I can see your kneecaps, and they line up even, and they're looking straight at me. And then your ankles, they're not inverted or everted, so they're not turning one way or the other, and your toes are pointing straight at me, so that's good. So now from this lateral view, the first thing I'll look for is if your head is out too far forward, which it looks fine for you. Can I have you pick your hair up for a second? And I'll look at your scapula here, if it was winged out, which is fine for you as well. And then moving down, I can see if you're too far hunched over or kyphotic, which is fine, or if you've extended your back too much or lordotic, but you're fine as well. And then moving down, I can see if your knees are hyperextended or if you've pushed them back too far. Your knees look even, and your ankles as well look symmetrical. So we'll switch and come over to your left side, and I'll look for the same things over here. So just on the other side, your head was not forward. If you can pick your hair up, and I'll check your shoulder blade again. Your shoulder blade looks fine, and you're not kyphotic or hunchback, and you're not lordotic or extending your back. This knee also looks normal, it's not hyperextended, and then your left ankle also looks normal as well. And then for the last view, if I could have you turn around and face your back towards me. Okay, so for this view, I'll also look to make sure your neck is straight up and down and symmetrical, which looks fine. And then I can also check your spine as a whole for any scoliosis or curvature. You look fine there as well. And then I can check your hips again to make sure they're lined up from the back, which they are even as well. And then I can look at your knees to make sure that the creases in your knees are symmetrical, and they are. And then moving down to your ankles, I can see your right ankle looks a smidge everted, but it's not anything major compared to your left. But other than that, they are not rotated, so they're pointed straight. And that should do it. Any symptoms after that?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to test your reflexes in your upper body. So before we start, do you have any symptoms?
Yes, I have pain in my left arm.
Okay, so I would test her right arm first, so, since that is her uninvolved side right now. So I'll go ahead and take your right arm, and I'm going to rest it right here. And then can I have you flex your arm up towards your head? And then back down a little. Okay, perfect. Then I'll have you rest here. Okay, so that was her biceps, so that was the C5 root that we tested. And then I'll grab her up again. Here. I'm gonna have you turn it this way just a little bit. And then that was brachioradialis, so C6. And then I'm gonna take your arm out to the side and relax it completely. And then that was triceps, so C7. Then we'll do her left arm. So relax it, and I'll have you bring your arm up towards your head. Okay, back down. Okay, so that was C5 as well. And then I'll take it, turn it sideways. And then that was brachioradialis, so C6. And then I'll take your arm up this way. And then that was triceps, so C7. Do you have any symptoms from that?
No.
Okay. So next we'll do reflexes for your lower extremity. So any symptoms before we start?
Yes, I have pain in my left leg.
Okay, so I'll test her uninvolved side first. So I'll be testing her right side first. Okay, so relax your legs all the way. Okay, so that was patellar, so that was L3 and L4. And then I'll test her Achilles. So I'll dorsiflex a little bit. Okay, and so that was S1. And then we'll test her involved side next. Okay, so L3 and L4 again with patellar. And then dorsiflex a little bit. And then S1. Alright, and then we'll test for Babinski's. So I'll take her foot and we'll start on her heel and run laterally and under toes. So a positive sign would be flaring or abduction of her toes, which would indicate an upper motor neuron lesion. Hers was negative because she had no response. This side. And then that one was also negative. And we'll test for clonus next. Any symptoms before I start? Nope. Okay, so a positive would be fibrillation of her foot, but she was negative. And then we'll test this side. And she was also negative for that side. Okay, so now I'll test you for Hoffman's side. So do you have any symptoms before we start?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab your hand, relax your fingers, here. And so this test for an upper motor neuron lesion. So a positive sign would be flexion of her thumb and or her index finger, but hers was negative because she had no response. And so we'll do the same on this hand, so relax your fingers. And her left side was also negative. Okay, so now we're going to do myotome testing, which tests your muscle strength. So before we begin, do you have any symptoms right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. So to start, I'll come around back. And I'm going to have you shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then I'm going to apply pressure down. Don't let me push them down. So go ahead and shrug them up. And don't let me push them down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, back down. So that's C4. And I'll come back to the front. And then this time I'm going to have you bring your arm out like this. Yep, and I'm going to put pressure down. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. That's C5. And then we'll do the other arm. So same arm like this. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And then I'll have you have your arm like this. And I'll push down. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. Other arm. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And that was C6. And then I'll have you do a stop sign at me. Don't let me pull your hand forward. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And other hand. Don't let me pull it forward. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. That was C6. And then we'll have your arm back like this. This time, don't let me pull it up. Okay. Any symptoms?
No.
All right. And your other arm. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And then this time, hand towards yourself. And don't let me pull it towards me. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and other hand. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and those were both for C7. Then I'll have you do like you're shaking someone's hand. This time I'll push down on your thumb, so don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and other thumb. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and then this time hands out like this. Spread your fingers out. Don't let me pinch your fingers. Any symptoms here?
No.
Okay, last one, and then we'll do these fingers. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and that was for T1. Okay, so now we'll do your myotone testing for your lower body, so just your muscle testing. Before we start, do you have any symptoms?
No.
Okay, so for the first one, you're going to try to bring your knee up to the ceiling, and don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, and then we'll do your other knee. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Alright, and that was L1, L2. And then to the seat. So this time I'm going to try to push your knee back, so don't let me push your heel back. Go ahead and push out. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. This way. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, that was L3, L4. And then this time you're going to try to put your whole foot up towards the ceiling. So don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And then other foot. Any symptoms?
No.
Alright, and that was L4, L5. And then this time you're going to use just your big toe and try to point your big toe up to the ceiling. Don't let me push it down. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And don't let me push it down. Any symptoms here?
No.
Okay, and that was L5, S1. And then this time you're going to take your ankle out to the side like this. Don't let me push it back in. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And then this ankle out to the side like this. Don't let me push it back in. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, that was S1, S2. And then for this last one, I'm going to have you kick your heel back and don't let me pull it forward. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay. And other leg. Don't let me put it forward. Any symptoms?
No.
Okay, that was S1, S2. So now we're going to do a cranial nerve testing. So you have 12 nerves, so we'll go through a series of tests to make sure that they're working properly. So before we start, do you have any symptoms?
No.
Okay, so for the first one, it's your olfactory, which is your sense of smell. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and then cover up one nostril or pinch one nostril. And then I'll wave something in front of your face and see if you can smell it. So go ahead and close your eyes. So what does that smell like?
Coffee.
Okay. And then cover your other nostril. And what does this smell like?
Coffee.
Okay. And you can go ahead and open your eyes. So the next one is optics, so it looks at your vision. So I'm actually going to have you step down from the table. Okay. And then step about 10 feet away from this small acuity chart. So if it was a normal size, you would be about 20 feet away. But you're going to cover one eye. And then go ahead and read this top line.
E.
And then the second one.
F. P.
The third.
T. O. Z.
The fourth.
L. P. E. D.
The fifth.
P. E. C. F. D.
The sixth.
E. D. F. C. Z. D.
Seventh.
F. E. L. O. P. Z. D.
And eighth.
D. E. T. F. O. T. E. Z.
Okay, go ahead and switch eyes. And go ahead and read the first,
E.
second,
F. P.
third,
T. O. Z.
fourth,
L. P. E. D.
fifth,
P. E. C. F. D.
and then 8.
DETFOTEC.
Okay, so you had equal vision in both eyes. And then I'll have you come back and sit back on the table. And I'll open it back up again. Okay, so for this one, you're going to have both eyes open, and this will test, actually we're going to do oculomotor, which is 3. So it tests pupil dilation, so you're going to close your eyes for about 5 seconds. Go ahead and close. And then when I tell you to, you're going to open and look straight at me. So you can go ahead and open. Okay, and so her pupil dilation and constriction is normal. And then we'll do 4, which is trochlear, and then 6, which is abducens, which is they use the muscles that help move your eyes. So you're going to have both your eyes open and just follow my finger. Okay, so I look for conjugate eye movement, which she was fine with, and then her trochlear helped her look down and in, while her abducens is helping her eye look laterally or abduct. And then next we'll test trigeminal, so it's some sensory touch to your face, so go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to provide a light touch somewhere on your face. Tell me where it's at.
My forehead. My cheeks. My chin.
Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. And it also helps with some muscles in your face as well, so I'm going to have you clench your jaw, and I'm going to feel for those muscles. So unclench and clench, yep, and then unclench and clench, yep. And then, do you have any symptoms before we keep going?
No.
Okay, so next we'll do facial, which is cranial nerve 7. So this one helps you with facial expression, so I'm going to ask you to raise your eyebrows, and then close your eyes really tight, and smile, and frown. Okay. And then we'll do number 8, vestibulocochlear, which is hearing. So I'm gonna do a sound like this by one of your ears. I'm gonna have you close your eyes, and I'm gonna get farther away, and you tell me when you can't hear the sound anymore. So go ahead and close your eyes. Here's the sound.
I can't hear it.
Okay, and then we'll do this other ear right here.
I can't hear it.
Okay, and so we were just checking for symmetry of the distance you could hear from. And then 9 and 10, glossopharyngeal and vagus are grouped together. So they do posterior taste to the third of the tongue. So you could check gag reflex, but another way would be I'll ask you to say ah, and if I could see under your mask, I would look for uvula elevation to be symmetrical. Because since I can't see under a mask, we'll skip that one. And then we'll do 11, which is spinal accessory. So that one is the nerve that goes to your muscles in your shoulder, your trapezius, and then in your neck, your sternocleidomastoid. So I'm going to have you raise your shoulders. Good. And then look to the right and look to the left. Okay? And so I was looking for symmetry on both sides for her muscle activation. And then 12 is hypoglossal. So you could, if you stick your tongue out, it would deviate toward the effective side if she had a lesion, but since we can't see her stick her tongue out, I'm going to have you push your tongue up against the cheek on the inside, yep, and then don't let me push it back in. Okay, and then push it against the other cheek, don't let me push it back in. Okay, good. And any symptoms?
No.